In the early 18th century, deep within the mist-covered hills of Serbia, a small village named Kisiljevo became the stage of one of Europe's most chilling mysteries. A man named Petar Blagojevic had died, but, according to his neighbors, death was not the end. What followed was so terrifying, it would ignite the very first vampire panic in recorded European history. Petar Blagojevic was not a wealthy man, nor was he a noble. He was an ordinary peasant who lived quietly with his family in Kisiljevo. When he died in 1725, his burial was simple, as was the custom. But within a week of his funeral, whispers spread like wildfire. In only 8 days, 9 more villagers had fallen mysteriously ill and died. Each of them, before drawing their last breath, gave the same chilling testimony. They swore that Petar Blagojevic himself had visited them at night, strangling them in their sleep, pressing the life from their lungs. The villagers grew terrified. Was their neighbor truly gone, or had he risen again from the grave? The fear deepened when Blagojevic's own widow came forward. She claimed her late husband had appeared before her as well. He demanded only one thing: his shoes. She described how his figure stood in the doorway, pale, silent, and menacing. Too frightened to remain in the village, she fled immediately, leaving her home behind. This testimony struck terror into the community. They believed they were no longer dealing with a ghost, but with a creature of the night. By now, the villagers were desperate. They petitioned an Austrian official stationed nearby, Imperial Provisor Frombold, to investigate. A priest joined him, and together they agreed to witness the truth for themselves. A grave was dug. The coffin was pried open. What they found was enough to freeze every drop of blood in their veins. Inside lay the body of Petar Blagojevic, but he did not look like a man dead for 10 days. His hair and beard had grown longer. His skin was fresh as though newly formed. His nail fingers appeared sharp as if still alive. Worst of all, thick, dark blood seeped from his mouth and ears. To the villagers, this was undeniable proof. He had been feeding on the living. The villagers would accept no hesitation. With the approval of the priest, they performed the only ritual they knew to end the curse. A sharpened wooden stake was driven through Blagojevic's chest. Witnesses later wrote that as the stake pierced his heart, a great gush of fresh blood burst from his mouth and ears. The body was then carried to a pyre and burned to ashes. Only then did the deaths in Kisiljevo cease. But the fear did not end. The shocking event was documented in Wienerisches Diarium, a Vienna newspaper, in 1725. The account spread across Europe like wildfire. For the first time, the word vampire entered official reports and printed history. The case of Petar Blagojevic became the catalyst for what would be remembered as the vampire panic of the 18th century. Scholars argued, doctors debated, priests warned of evil rising from the ground. And yet, for the villagers of Kisiljevo, the truth was far simpler. They had looked into the coffin with their own eyes. They had seen the blood. They had witnessed the terror. Centuries later, the legend of Petar Blagojevic lingers. Some dismiss it as superstition, a product of disease and fear. But in the silent fields of Kisiljevo, beneath ancient soil, whispers still rise when the night grows too quiet. Was Blagojevic truly the first vampire, or was he only the first to be caught? Perhaps the dead do not always rest.